Hey y'all, you are now tuning in to the Praying Single Mom podcast, where we love the Lord, we love to pray, and we even love a good slay child, okay? But we also love to get real, raw, uncut, and candid. No topic is off limits here, as we are not after religion, but we're after relationship with Christ. We are not after perfection, but we're after connection. So we'll touch on all topics, from why you need to get out of that relationship that is no longer serving you, to rejection, abandonment, grief, neglect, you name it. From how to be a better parent to how to better that spending habit, honey, because we know how we can get, okay? We let God use us like never before. I hope you know that you're safe here. You can cry here. You can laugh here. Whatever floats your boat and keeps you afloat, okay? I'm your host, Lekeshia Cody. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Praying Single Mom podcast. Today, I want to just dive in and talk to you guys really quick about being forced to choose you. I saw a quote that said, if them not choosing you forced you to finally choose yourself, you win. And that stood out to me. It resonated, it stuck, because I know what it feels like to be consumed in someone or person so much to the fact that you'll stay in something even if you know that it's not serving you. You'll stay in that thing because it's what you feel like you need in that moment. It's satisfying something temporarily in that moment. And even if it's not as satisfying, you don't want to let it go. So every time you decide to stay in something that's toxic, something that you know that is not for you, something you know that God doesn't want you in, something that you know is not going to be able to serve you in your future, you are not choosing yourself. And there are moments where God will cause them not to choose you so that you can choose yourself. There are moments when God will cause them to reject you so that you can in turn choose yourself. I thank God for people who said no to me. I thank God for people who said, I am not what they need or what they are looking for. In that moment, it didn't feel good. I felt rejected. However, it caused me to choose me like never before. And if you are in a season to where you're like, you've had someone walk out on you, you may have went through a period of time where maybe you were cheated on, or maybe they chose someone else over you, or maybe they said that you were not good enough, or you were too good, whatever that issue was, they told you. It caused you to do some soul searching. It caused you to choose yourself. And so I want to let you know you win. You really do. You have one, and it may not feel like it in this moment. You may feel like the one that is like, because what happens is, honestly, guys, in situations where people don't choose you or for whatever reason, we start to feel like, oh, there must be something wrong with me. Why didn't they choose me? There must be someone out there better, this and this and that. But what I'm here to tell you is that if it didn't work out, it wasn't meant to work out. And the worst thing you can do is be in a relationship with someone who does not want you, who has expressed that they don't want you, who has expressed that they cannot meet your needs, your standards. They make you feel like you're asking for too much when you are not. The problem is you are asking the wrong person. Come on now. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person, right? The right person is going to be willing to, and I tell you guys this all the time. The right person is going to be willing to sit with you, to stick it out with you, to sit with you through whatever it is that you have to work through. So don't go looking at yourself like, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? If anything, do some soul searching, dig deep down on the inside and ask yourself, what was it in me that caused me to stay into something or stay with someone who didn't want me, who didn't want to choose me, who pushed me away for whatever reason? What was it on the inside of me that craved something that did not crave me? Right? And so we just need to ask ourselves, like, What is it in me that keeps attracting something or someone that has this type of motive, intentions, and all of these different type of things? But again, them not choosing you, it caused you to choose yourself, and you're better for it. You are better for it. I promise you, you are. Have you ever heard the saying that God will push you into your purpose? God will push you in your He will push you into your destiny. He will push you into that marriage that he has for you. He will push you into that ministry. He will push you into writing that book. He will push you into certain situations. Sometimes he has to push us. Sometimes he has to force us into those situations, because if not, we will settle. All hell had to break through in that last relationship. You had to catch them cheating. They had to go off on you like that. They had to express themselves to you in that way that made you say, hey, wow, they really, really, really are not for me. They really don't want to be in this relationship. All of those things had to happen, honey, because you would have stayed. You would have settled, hoping that things would get better. You had to catch them cheating. You had to catch them in that act. That hard thing had to happen. God will never allow you to have peace in something that he did not intentionally or initially ask you or set you up to be in. In other words, anything that is not from God, there will be no peace in it. All hell will continue to break loose. You'll have moments in that thing to where it feels good, temporary gains, temporary pleasure. But then you're wondering why those cycles keep showing up. And then eventually the cycles, they get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where either you end it or they end it. At the end of the day, you're being forced out of something, and you're being forced into something. And so we just got to be grateful for those times and those moments. And we got to begin to tell God, listen, I don't want to go through another lesson. Help me to use discernment, God. Help us to use discernment, God. Help us to be able to identify red flags. And when we see the red flags, help us not to continue to go forth with it. Get in a place where, now that you're choosing yourself, get into a place where you know what you're not willing to deal with anymore. Initially set the boundaries, stand on them, and don't go back to things that broke you. Don't do it. All right, ladies. So I pray that this episode helped you and blessed you. And again, if them not choosing you caused you to choose yourself, you win. You ladies be blessed.